Make me your mayor, a new feature here on the South African Morning and on ENCA as we get ready for the local government elections after the to and fro of whether it's going to be October or February. We now know it is going to be October, so everyone hitting the ground running as it were. If you live in Johannesburg, you won't hit the ground running. Chances are you'll run into a pothole first before you hit the ground. Action SA wants Herman Mashaba back at the helm in Johannesburg. The party is going to contest its first election in this year's local government polls. And Mashaba is, of course, its Johannesburg mayoral candidate, a hat he is well aware and well versed in wearing. He joins us now to quickly talk about his plans for the city. Mr. Mashaba, good to have you with us. Let me start with this. I don't want to live in a country where foreign nationals come and open hairdressing salons and spa shops. You're being accused of being xenophobic.
Well, Gareth, if people are going to blame me for protecting the jobs of 12 million South Africans, 74% of our youth are unemployed, I'm happy they can call me anything. I think I am not going to retract. In fact, we need to elevate this kind of discussion because it's a very, very important discussion that South Africa cannot really be a country where failed governments want to outsource their problem to South Africa. We stand for South Africans. We are not, as Action SA, would allow anyone to really come to South Africa to come and offer us hairdressing services or working in a restaurant when 12 million of our own people are unemployed. So
are you xenophobic?
I think if anyone calls me xenophobic, then please they must refer to the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. Then the authors of our Constitution are xenophobic. All our countries in the world except South Africa, because this is the kind of legal framework respected by countries all over the world except South Africa. When you raise this matter, you are regarded as xenophobic. And I think for us as South Africans, we are not going to be silenced. In fact, the more they want to engage and insult us on such issues, I can tell you we will elevate them to a stage where we will hold the Home Affairs accountable to ensure that everyone who comes to South Africa cannot be a liability to this country. They must come and add value to our country.
We're going to talk about what your plans are for the country in just a moment. Mr. Mashaba, remind me, though, why did the Democratic Alliance fire you?
No, so they did not really fire me. Gareth, I wasn't born yesterday when I realized that the DA and the ANC were having secret meetings to remove me because of my proper policies. I then said, you know what, I'm not the kind of person that's been pushed around. I wasn't in a mayor's position. I joined the DA because I was looking for the job. I joined the DA because I wanted to address the ills of our country. And when the DA realized that they were not prepared to unseat the ANC and actually have secret discussions with them to have a motion of no confidence against me, I said, then what's the point of staying on? And I moved on because I did not want to be associated, firstly, with right-wing organizations. I did not want to be associated with criminals because these two organizations, one I take as a criminal syndicate, one I take it as a right wing. So I decided I must actually protect my reputation.
So you're claiming as Action SA that you're a good alternative for those two parties you just mentioned now, another alternative to the ruling party as well. What's the biggest issue you're going to handle come the elections in October, and if you were to be brought in, because you and I both know in Johannesburg there's a lot of issues. So what's the one that you're going to be focusing on?
I think, Gareth, I'll be lying to myself and people, and I don't think I'm the kind of person that must just unnecessarily lie, more especially on important matters. You can't just deal with one. You've got to deal with a magnitude of issues, but deal with them immediately, simultaneously. You've got to first get rid of ANC cadres from government because they will sabotage you, work for Lutulia House instead of working for City of Johannesburg. You've got to strengthen our group forensic to ensure that we deal with the corruption. We need to deal with the reclaiming of our inner city to ensure that we can work with the private sector to provide affordable accommodation for South Africans and our students. We need to really put together a professional public service. We need to put more investments into our infrastructure that has been allowed to decay over the last 27 years. Instead of focusing on changing names, we must focus on putting money on our roads, on our water pipe in infrastructure. We need to increase our electricity capacity because Johannesburg has now got over 5.5 million people living in the city of Johannesburg. These are things that you've got to do, but you've got to do them simultaneously. You can't just do one.
And I agree, it's a lot to take on. And Herman Mashaba will be watching closely as we get ever closer to those elections coming up in October. From Action SA, Herman Mashaba, he is wanting to be back at the helm in Johannesburg. Are you going to vote for him? We'll wait to see what happens come to the elections.